Welcome to another video where I'm going to take a closer look at one of the photos of the Vickers machine gun in action. In this case, I'm looking at this famous photo. It appears in quite a few books, of the 2nd Battalion of the Kensington Regiment, who are the divisional support battalion for the 49th Division. This is in Rauray, Normandy. It's a photo here that we'll get into a little bit more detail, but as always I'll have a look at the caption first. Now, the digital caption on the Imperial War Museum website is "Men of the 2nd Kensington Regiment," as I said, attempt to spot a sniper in Rauray during Operation Epsom, 28th of June 1944. And on the back of the card we've got a bit of extra detail actually. Sergeant N. Durbin of 35 Daffodil Street, Shepherd's Bush, W12, using a device by which he sights a target and the men beside him can see where it points. It is very useful against snipers. Rauray. Taken by Sergeant Christie, a name that becomes popular if you're looking at Normandy photos. So let's have a closer look at what this device is and all the other detail in the photo. So here we go, say June 1944, Rauray, Normandy, and they're located alongside a barn with some shell damage there, look, or perhaps a farmhouse or something like that, but clearly alongside a road. Now there's a few other photos in the series that show this road a little bit more, but what we've got here is this vehicle in the background. Yeah, it is a vehicle. It's covered in absolutely loads of stuff. You can just see the Vickers machine gun along here, fitted with its water jacket cover, the flash eliminator, and if we just take that one away, and actually you can see the condenser hose coming off there that's been thrown on the back of it alongside the tripod, the crosshead of the tripod's there, look, and all of these ammunition liners that are stacked up alongside. Now this is a universal carrier. It's commonly called the Bren gun carrier, but this one has actually we're looking at it from the rear. This is the rear right hand side, or the rear offside bumper there, and you can see the 6, look, and that will be the 64, white on black. It is the tactical vehicle marking for machine gun battalions, and as we said, you've got the Kensington title up there. You can't read it on this photo, but it's there. The 49th Division Polar Bear divisional insignia, and then the regimental insignia, or battalion insignia actually, which you can just see is it's 2 pieces of grey wool with a separate colour down the centre of it. So or it's 1 piece and then the colour patch is put on the front there. So it's 2nd Battalion Kensingtons. We've got the 6 on there, and the carrier itself is fitted for the Vickers MG. It's not just a Bren carrier converted or anything like that, and you can just see the mount of it here, and this liner is up at the angle, and the carrier mounting for the Vickers means that it is fitted onto the engine top plate, and it means that you can fire it in a 360 degree direction. You wouldn't fire it in direct fire like that unless you really had to, but it can be fired from the carrier, and it has this this carrier mounting that enables you to do so. That carrier mounting can be taken off, and the crosshead that we've got here can be put on for more stable shooting. But it's all covered in the manuals that we've got available on the website anyway. So we've talked about the gun, we've talked about the condenser hose that actually, if you look at it, goes all the way up there. So it's been thrown on. But yeah, the subject of the photo is normally this device here. Now this is a pointer staff Mark 1. Yeah, simple. It's a stem that you hold in your hand. It is a arm there and an arm there, and those are connected by 2 bars to make them parallel. Now this is interesting because the caption says so other people can look. So what's happening is this guy here, this man here, is looking through that one stem, and he's got some sights there, very rudimentary sights, fore and back, to look. What this chap can do is lean over his shoulder and look through this one here over his left shoulder, and they will be looking at approximately the same thing. Depending on the distance away from it, but they will be looking parallel there to approximately the same thing, wherever that may be. So finding a sniper, you're going to tell, this guy is going to tell the sergeant Durpin, can't remember now, is going to tell this chap here what he's looking at. This guy here, though, just of interest, because it's sometimes sort of implied that it's the guy on his right, this guy, that he's showing. Well, he's the wrong side of him. He's not going to be able to look through this one here, is he? So it's more likely this chap that he's showing. They're all, so if he's a sergeant, he might be the platoon sergeant, he might be a section sergeant. Let's look at their uniforms and equipment. It's worth saying this guy's a corporal here. So let's look at their uniforms equipment. We've got the two privates, nothing on their sleeves to indicate they're at any rank at all. Looks like there's a patch there that might be length of service stripes. Not sure. But yeah, so their personal equipment, personal uniforms, working from right to left, battle dress serge, or 1940 austerity pattern, but looks of it with exposed buttons. He's got his collar upturned. They're very dapper chaps. Exposed buttons top and bottom, so it's not battle dress serge, commonly called 37 pattern. It's the later type there. He's wearing, which is quite apt actually, he's wearing cartridge carriers, sometimes called driver's pouches, but wrongly. So each side would carry 20 rounds of .303 ammunition in each of these. So two 5-round clips in each side, 10 rounds in each pouch, and therefore 20 rounds each side. He also has his number 4 bayonet, which matches the fact he's got his number 4 rifle there. These cartridge carriers were issued to machine gunners, mortarmen, units that didn't carry Bren guns routinely, because the utility pouches that can be seen on the corporal, as it happens, and on this chap down here, those utility pouches carry Bren gun magazines normally. There's also a chap in the back I've just noticed, but not much detail to be gleaned from him. So we do see these cartridge carriers appear on machine gunner troops quite regularly. What we also have on him is his wire cutter case there, so it's empty at the moment, and just behind that you can see his water bottle hanging down as well. As I've said, the basic pouches on these chaps, spike bayonet on him as well. What this guy's webbing also shows is he's wearing his haversack. You can just see the L strap of it. That little buckle there would normally be clipped in there if it was being worn sensibly, but he's got it over both shoulders, but he's got it so he can drop it quite quickly. So he's got his haversack on, his small pack. Now going back to this chap on the right, his helmet. They're all wearing, it seems, Mark II helmets with helmet nets. Even this chap in here is wearing a helmet net, and they've all got them camouflage with bits of hessian and burlap, sometimes called. So they've got some camouflage on those. Even this chap with it on his knee there has it hessianed, has it camouflaged as well. What other things moving across? Hobnail boots, anklets, nothing really spectacular to say about those. They're all going to be the same, I think. What is interesting though is this chap in the middle that is using the pointer staff, the sergeant, is actually wearing, I think it's a raincoat, and I checked with a member of the association, John Prince, on this. We reckon it's coat rain number 1A, I think we said. Apologies if I've got that wrong. That's not John's fault, but he's wearing his raincoat as well, and you can see the ground actually looks a bit churned up. So maybe there's been some rain, more so. But they've all got rifles. One of the things that this is a great illustration of, is machine gun units very rarely had stens. The range takers have stens. The section commanders have stens or machine carbines. Everybody else has rifles. They don't need lots of automatic firepower because they've got the Vickers to do that for them. What else have we got that we can pull out? The amount of kit that's on the back here of this carrier is great. We've got a looks like a camouflage net in there, and then we've got these poles that are up in there. Now, what they could be, because it's part of the carrier equipment, is something called a spider. Now, I'm just going to scribble over the top of the screen. So a spider is a ring in the center, and then legs that all have little rings on the end, so they go round this main ring, and it does that. And then what you do is set that up above the gun, so you might have your Vickers out here, your guys sat here, number 2 at the side, number 1 behind, etc., and then you put your camouflage net over it. And what that does, really bad drawing there looking at that, but what that does is give some support for your camouflage net. Now, each one of the carriers did carry that, and it's on the stores list, so I think that's what these poles could be along the back there. So interesting to see that. Just a quick note that this, I think this is either a bandolier strap or possibly the light anti-gas respirator, but I can't see that on any of the other chaps being worn, so possibly a bandolier tape across his shoulders there. So I think that's probably it again for a quick 10-minute vid. Hopefully that's brought out some interesting points. This is the main central point of it. Really interesting piece of equipment. The pointer staff, quite commonly found, but possibly another misunderstood piece of kit. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. Please support us on Patreon if you're able to, and let us know of anything you'd like to see in the future. I look forward to hearing from you.